Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be working through a short and sweet prenatal yoga flow sequence that is focusing on a couple of key standing poses. Really great for all trimesters. You will need a block, especially if you're in your second or third trimester, it definitely becomes useful. If there's anything in the sequence that doesn't feel right on your body, please just back off, just take care of yourself and just listen to your body as we work through the sequence. So let's just make a start straight away. So standing in a nice wide base, feet parallel, and let's bring the palms of the hands together in front of your chest and we'll just close down the eyes. Just taking some time to connect to your breathing. Allowing the breath to become fuller, but staying soft with the breath. Feeling the feet grounding down into the mat. Having a sense of the lower back, just softening, but then lengthening up right through the entire spinal column, right up through the crown of the head. So you have an action of pressing down through the feet and then reaching up through the crown of the head. And just continue to follow your breath in and out, just for another few breaths. It's really centering and grounding in your body. And then letting that go, let's open the eyes. Release the arms down by your side. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms up, palms the hands together, looking towards the thumbs, and then exhale, draw the hands down through your center line. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reaching up, looking towards the thumbs, and then exhale, drawing the hands down. And last time, inhale, sweeping the arms up, and then exhale, drawing the hands down. Let's bring the hands to your waist and then just soften through the knees, and we're going to just take a couple of hip circles, so just circling over to the right and then to the back, to the left and forward with the hips, and then to the right and back and left and forward, and then just going again to the right, back, left and forward, and just 2 more big circles. Just breathe into your hip area. Be soft with the legs, just last time, to the right, and then we're going to come back to center and we're going to just go the other way. So going to the left and back and right and forward and left, back, right and forward, and just continue just a few more circles going towards the left. Just starting to loosen off those muscles just around the back and the hips. It's carrying all that extra weight. So let's just finish off this last one and then come back to center, straighten those legs, take an inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, draw the hands down, bend those knees, bring those hands down onto your thighs. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. Just really ground down through the feet, keep the feet nice and wide, hands firmly gripped onto the thighs, and then just lengthen out through the entire spine, opening across the collarbones here, and energy out through the crown of the head, so making sure the head's not dropping down, and thinking about that tailbone just reaching down as well. And we're just going to focus on the breath. So as you take your inhale, breathe into the sides of the rib cage, into the back, into the front of the chest, and up. And then as you exhale, just let everything soften down. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath into the sides of the rib cage, the back, the front of the chest, and slightly up. And then as you exhale, just let everything soften. Just 1 more time. Inhale, sides, back, front of the chest, and up. And then exhale, let everything soften. Just a few cat-cows here. So inhale to arch the spine, just gently lifting your eyes. As you exhale, curve the spine back. Little curl under the tailbone and tucking the chin in. And then inhale, cat. And then exhale. And 2 more times. Inhale, arching. And then exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And an inhale, coming all the way back up to standing. Just stepping forward on your mat. Now make sure you've got your blocks here. You'd have 1 or 2 blocks. My feet are wide enough just to feel nice and stable. Reaching out through the fingertips, just taking your Tadasana or mountain pose here. Looking straight ahead. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms up, taking hold of the elbows. As you exhale, soften through the knees and let's fold forward into our Uttanasana. So if you just want to hold the elbows, that's fine. If you want to use your blocks for a little bit of extra support here, just take your blocks. Let the head relax down if you can. Keep the knees soft and just hold it here. Make sure you're not hanging too far back into the heels. Weight is slightly forward onto the balls. And try to keep the shoulders soft and they're just lifting away from the ears, just gently. Nice, easy, free breath. And then inhale, coming up into your halfway lift. Exhale, soften through the knees and let's just come back up to standing. Coming back into your Tadasana, reaching out through the fingertips. So modified Surya Namaskar A. We're going to take an inhale, sweep the arms up, looking up towards the thumbs. Exhale, soften through the knees, open the hands out as you fold forward into your Uttanasana. If you need to use your blocks, feel free to. Otherwise, just bring the hands down to where you can. Inhale into your halfway lift. You can bring your hands onto your shin bones. And then exhale, soften through the knees, bring the hands down, step back into your down facing dog. Hands shoulder distance apart, feet as wide as they need to be, and just keep them parallel. Now you might just want to hold it here if you're a bit later in your pregnancy. If you would like to keep coming with me, just come forward into your plank just for a moment. Take an inhale and then exhale. Open the knees out wide, big toes together, sit back onto the heels. Just hold it here just for a couple of breaths. And then coming back up, taking an inhale, arching through the spine, and then exhale, tuck the toes under, coming back into your down facing dog. We're going to hold it here for 5 deep breaths. Just find a steady spot for the eyes, either in between the feet or just up towards the belly button. And then looking towards the hands. If you're later in your pregnancy, you can bring your hands a little bit closer together. So you can step one foot to the outside and then the other foot to the other side. And then taking an inhale to come into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then soften through the knees to come back up to standing. Inhale, palms the hands together. And then exhale, releasing back into your Tadasana. Let's go again. Inhaling. And then exhale, soften through the knees to come down. Take an inhale, lengthen out to your halfway lift. If you can straighten the legs, you can. And then exhale, hands down, step back into your down facing dog. Inhale to come forward into your plank. Now you can repeat coming down to the knees and back into child's pose if you would like to. If you want to take a modified vinyasa, come down onto the knees. Take an inhale and exhale, soften the elbows just halfway down and then press through the feet. Come into a very soft up face dog. So keep the knees down, open across the shoulders. Easy breath. One more inhale and then exhale. Sit back towards the heels, tuck the toes under and then coming up into your down facing dog. 5 breaths here.
And then looking forward towards the hands. Once again, if you need to bring the hands closer together, you can. And then step the right foot forward and then the left foot forward, taking your inhale into your Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, folding down, bending through the knees to come back up to standing. Inhale, palms the hands together, and then exhale, releasing back into your Tadasana. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, soften through the knees, folding down, relax the head down. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back into your down facing dog. Inhale forward into your plank. If you want to come for the modified vinyasa, come down to the knees. Exhale, lower down halfway. Press through the feet. Inhale into your soft up face dog. We'll just hold it here just for a couple of breaths. You could be taking your cat-cow variation here if this doesn't feel good for you. One more inhale. And then exhale, tuck the toes under, pressing back into your down dog. Five breaths. And then looking forward towards the hands, bringing them closer together if you need to, soften through the knees, stepping one foot forward and then the other foot forward, taking an inhale into your halfway lift, exhale, fold, soften through the knees, inhale to come all the way back up to standing, and then exhale, releasing back into your Tadasana. Grab your block, and we're going to step out to the right hand side. Turn the right foot out to the side, turn the left heel in and open those arms out. Then take an inhale here. As you exhale, starting to lean over towards the right leg. So we're taking Trikonasana. If you're later in your pregnancy, you might just want to keep this right knee bent and just hold it here. That's totally fine, and in which case you won't need your block. If you'd like to keep going, straighten that right leg. You could have the block on the high plane, or you could just bring it down just to where you need it. And then turn the head to look up towards that left thumb. We're trying to open that left shoulder up towards the ceiling. And Trikonasana is such a beautiful pose. It's opening up the side body, stretching the insides of the legs, as well as the outside of that left leg. Try to keep the breath easy. One more inhale. Exhale completely here. And then soften through that right knee to come straight into your warrior two. Turning the head to just look over towards the right middle finger, we're going to take hold of the forearms just behind the back. So just holding your forearms or your elbows, keeping those shoulders facing to the side, even though you're turning your head to look over towards the right. And then let's inhale, straighten that front leg, release the arms out to the side, just taking the block with you if you're using your block, taking to the left hand, rotating around so that the left foot is pointing to the top of the mat, right foot is pointing slightly in. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let's come into our Trikonasana. Remembering, if you're in your third trimester, you could just hold it here. If you're wanting to come a little bit deeper, just take the block just to where you need it. And then extend that right arm up, turning the head to look up towards the right thumb. One more inhale here. Exhale completely. soften through that left knee, moving straight into your warrior two. Wrapping the hands behind the back, taking hold of the forearms or the elbows, just whatever you can. So remembering to let that breath just flow through the entire torso. And then let's take an inhale, straighten the leg up, and then grabbing your block and stepping forward with that right leg. Keep the feet hip distance apart. And we're going to just take a moment just here in Tadasanas, release those arms, looking straight ahead. And we're going to step out to the side again. So stepping out to the side, a bit wider than your other stance. Rotate that right foot out, bend into the right knee. So it's as if we are in warrior two legs. And then place that right elbow down. This might be plenty for you, and you can just hold it here. You'd start with the left hand on the waist, and if that feels okay, extend that left arm over. If you want to go a little bit deep, you could bring those hands, that right hand down to the block, and then you can just turn the head to look up. Keep grounding down through the outside of that left foot and reach out through the left fingertips. And then inhale, coming back up to standing, bring the block with you. If you're using the block, rotating around to the other side. Inhale here, exhale, option to just place that left elbow down onto the left thigh, right hand to the waist, or just bringing that block down in front of the left ankle, reaching the right arm over when you're ready. And again, just pressing through the outside of that right foot. Notice if there's anywhere in the body that you can soften, the face, the shoulders. And then let's inhale, come back up to standing, rotate both feet to parallel, and let's just walk the feet back in. Just taking a moment, just in our Tadasana. Just coming forward onto to the top of the mat, place the block down, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, folding down. Inhale, lengthen out, halfway lift. If you need to use your blocks, please do. Come down to the right knee, and then the left knee, sitting over onto your bottom. Let's extend those legs out into Upavishta Konasana. Now feel free to sit on a block or on a cushion or a bolster here if you want just a little bit of extra height for your hips. Let's start by grounding down through the legs. Flex the feet, pressing down through the backs of the thighs. Hands behind you onto your fingertips just to open up across the collarbones. Just close down the eyes for a moment. Thinking about lengthening out through both sides of the waist. Yes, open your eyes again. Open those arms out to the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're just going to reach down to the right side. Extend that left arm over. And then inhale, come back up through center. And then exhale over to the left. And then come up through center again. Inhale. And then exhaling over to the right. Inhale up through center. And exhaling over to the left. Inhale up through center, and then this time let's just hold it over to the right. Let that left shoulder just relax down into the socket. And you can just be looking straight ahead, or you could turn your head to look up slightly. Turning the head back to center. Take an inhale to come back up through center, and then exhaling over to the left. Reaching out through that right hand, and then turning the head to look up, if that's okay on your neck. Make sure that this left shoulder is not scrunched up near your ear. Just let it relax down, so soften through that left elbow. Just remember those legs, so keep pressing down through the backs of the legs. And then inhale, coming back up through center, bringing the hands down in front of you, and just coming down forward, just to where you can. So don't worry if you're not coming too far forward, just to where you can. You could even use your block here if you want just a little bit more extra height to help you just rest down on something and press the palms of the hands together. If you can come all the way down onto the mat, then just feel free. Just one thing to be really mindful of as you're practicing yoga and you're pregnant is to not overstretch, because particularly as you get into the later stages of the pregnancy, that hormone relaxin is going to be released in the body just to help those hips open up, preparing for labour. So just be really careful. If you're feeling super flexy, just maybe not at your maximum flexibility. Just another 5 full breaths here. And then just making your way back up. Hands underneath the legs. Just try to bring the legs together. Take the legs out in front of you just for a moment. Just give them a little wiggle out. And then we're just going to prepare ourselves for shavasana. So grabbing your block or your pillow for your head and your cushions or your bolster for the front. Lying on your left hand side. Just taking that right knee over onto the bolster, making plenty of space for your belly. Extend that left leg out. Just relaxing that right hand down, closing your eyes. And just letting the breath just really slow down. Letting the face be soft. And we're just going to rest here just for a couple of minutes. Now, if you can stay here a bit longer, please feel free to just rest for as long as you need to. Otherwise, starting to deepen into the breath again, feeling the belly expand as you inhale, and just allowing it to soften as you exhale. And again, deep inhale, filling the whole body with the breath, and then exhaling. And then let's just gently open the eyes. Carefully making your way back up to a seated position, so just using your hands to come up. Making your way into just a comfortable seated position. Let's rest the hands lightly on the thighs, close down your eyes.
Just noticing how you're feeling and the effects of the practice. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed your practice, and just take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.